So the Hebrew name Saul was a little bit foreign. So they wanted something that was more colloquial. And since Saul also had the name of Paul, this is what they started using amongst the people that they were meeting. Now, this also alludes to, and you can maybe chime in here a bit, this alludes to Paul. When I was amongst the Jews, I was like a Jew. When I was amongst the Gentiles, I was like a Gentile. And they try to say, well, that's evidence of Paul using taqiyya. No, taqiyya is purely an Islamic concept. It's a legal concept. Remember, it's a legal concept. Remember, Islam doesn't have clerics, doesn't have priests, it has lawyers, right? This is a legal word. It means something very specific. Paul was not, it's simply, remember, he was Roman. And what do they say? When in Rome, do as the Romans do. So he was in Rome, he did as the Romans did. When he wasn't in Rome, he didn't do as the Romans did. I don't see how this is so hard, but for the hard of hearing and for the slow, I hope that helped. Your thoughts?
Well, yeah, it's not that difficult to understand that if you're trying to reach someone, you have to meet them where they are. I mean, I don't really know what else there is to say about that besides Paul went to people like when he was in Greece and he was talking to um, the people there of Athens, and he was relating to their idea of God, and he was always meeting them where they were and then bringing them back around to the love of Christ. You see him do that when he's talking to his Jewish audience as well, and us as you know, going out and doing our missionaries and stuff. We need to do that same type of thing, right? You don't just go to someone and don't know anything about them before you start preaching the word. Well, you want to understand, you want to meet them where they're at, you want to meet them
Right.
uh, at their understanding.
Yeah, also, one thing I need to say to the audience, I do apologize. For some reason, YouTube has a problem in Europe. I set the stream for 8 p.m. I was showing it to Ask Truth earlier. I set the stream for 8 p.m. And even though it shows 8 p.m. in the settings, YouTube still has it set for 9 p.m. So I had to alter it to 7 p.m. Even though it was 7:28 my time, I set it for 7 p.m. It then shows 8 p.m. There's a bug in YouTube that unfortunately it's not always accurate. So for some reason it set the stream for 9 p.m. for an hour later. And I do apologize if I've inconvenienced anyone who missed the live stream. Yeah, it's unfortunately it's a bug that happens, and it's one of those crazy things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's only because YouTube likes Americans. They don't like anybody else.
yeah, yeah, it works in America, but yeah, it doesn't realize there's more outside the borders of America.
Sorry,
Yeah,
guys, it's not my fault. I just live here.
yeah. Okay, right. So what sets Paul apart? What makes Paul special? Because Paul is constantly attacked, right? So what is it about Paul that makes him special? Now, of course, you've got Peter, you've got very important people like that, but also you've got Paul. It says, so Paul was the foremost leader of the Christian movement beyond the confines of the Christian Holy Land, and we will be looking at a map of his travels, so we can see how much work and effort he did put in, right? But he took the Christian movement beyond the confines.